Hello and welcome to the I Foster Juice podcast. I'm your host, Juice, and I'm here with my co-host, the Charlotte knee to my Ronda Rousey face, Reen.
Oh my God. You saw that clip? Oh my God.
Who didn't watch that clip?
You know, it's so funny. I love it when they go back and make like music videos out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Which one was it? The Sweet Dreams one? That killed me.
We're going to be talking about all that, but it wouldn't be WWE stuff without one more person. So we got a special guest tonight, folks, to fill out this triple threat match. The Rochambeauing Becky Lynch, or as you might know him, Rory, aka Rory Rex on Twitter. What's going on, man?
My God. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for that intro as well. And I love Becky Lynch.
Yeah, I kind of did it on purpose because I know that that's your girl or your man, as she proclaims. But
she can say it whatever she wants.
So this is not a WWE podcast, but since WrestleMania is this week and everyone else is talking about it, we figured, fuck it, let's just get right into it. So Rena's talking about the remixes and whatnot. What did you think just when that video came out, Rena? Did you watch the event live? Because I only saw like little highlights on Twitter.
No, I watched it later, and then it was posted with them getting arrested, and they stuck Ronda and Becky in the same squad car, and they were going at it, and yeah. I'm like, okay, here's Ronda ramming the car in front of her, the cop car in front of her.
Those are the worst police officers ever.
Yeah, are they kind of going overboard with this, Rory, or do you dig this?
Well, that scene, I feel like that scene was a little over the top. When they put them in the same car, I'm like, this doesn't really make too much sense. But, I mean, the highlight for me was the knee to the face. I think it's probably the highlight for everyone, seeing Ronda get that knee to the face. But I'll tell you something. It looked like she sold it pretty good because her head really smacked the side of the door really hard. And I almost kind of believed it for like 2 seconds, and then I was like, wait a minute. Okay.
Oh no, she for sure got hit. I was just wondering, like, did Charlotte go a little too hard, or was she actually just trying to hit her? Or, was that the plan all along, is to just straight up clock her in the face with a knee? Because, Ronda doesn't like getting hit too much.
I think she put a little extra on it. Just a little bit.
Funny. That shit is so funny.
It's funny, Rory, because you'd been saying that Becky Lynch can do no wrong, but it seems like Charlotte can do no wrong to a lot of people, especially with the way she's fucked up Ronda. Not just the knee, but even a few months back with the kendo stick and the beating she gave her. It's like people love her for this shit.
Yeah, but I'll take Becky in the ring. I'll take her out of the ring, but then I'll also take Becky on Twitter because I think that's where she's really, really getting Ronda out of here.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely savvy. I guess she takes that from her Irish side because, Connor was once good at it, and we're going to talk about him later on too. But that's how people forget. Connor kind of made his bones like that, just calling people out on Twitter and being witty. He was Ben Askren before Ben Askren, wasn't he, Reen?
Boom, roasted.
You, God damn it.
You won. You walked into that one.
I asked for it. I know I do.
That was awesome. Thanks.
Jesus Christ, I can't stand him.
You started it. You started it. You brought his name first. I didn't do it.
It's the fact that he can do no wrong to you either.
Well, he's going to fight Cuban Jesus, so.
Oh, yes. Yeah, at least he won't go
to see something very wrong then.
Yeah, so good luck, Ben.
Coming from you.
I don't wish him any luck, man. I hope he does what he did to Till and worse, man. That's gonna, it looks like that's all signed too. International Fight Week's gonna be crazy. But all right, so this show's gonna be a little bit all over the place, but we're gonna talk about some of the fights from last week. There's no UFC this weekend, so we're just gonna shoot the shit and just talk about all kinds of things. So UFC Philly, second ESPN card went down. There was also a one card, so we're kind of just going to be talking about the highlights. Um, Probably not going to go into too much detail. What was the thing that stuck out to you, Reen? What was the fight or knockout or performance or what was your favorite part of Saturday?
I was actually impressed with Marina Moroz.
Oh yeah,
I was like, oh yeah, you forgot? She beat your girl.
yeah, but what that fight showed me is that I liked that. I mean, I wish Mazo would have won, but I
Yeah.
was I kind of liked that she lost because she lost in a way that taught her something and she didn't get beat up in the process. I kind of had this feeling like I think she's too used to a slow pace into 5 round fights and it might bite her. And
Hmm.
it looks like that's exactly what happened. So she's got to get back into the rhythm of 3 round fights or just up her volume or something because that was a winnable fight for her and she kind of let it go.
Yeah, she was dominated. So Burroughs, she breaks that 2-fight losing streak, right? So good for her. She said that she felt really good at this weight class. She had lots of energy, so she was used to cutting like 20 pounds or so, but with this weight class, she's cutting about 12 to 15 pounds instead. And yeah, she actually called out like Paige Van Zant in her post fight interview.
Well, who doesn't call out Paige Van Zandt these days?
Well, it's the news came out I think this week too that she's gonna get into commentating soon. She's gonna commentate on a M1 fight in I think in a few weeks here. I don't know. I get it kind of sucks that people started shitting on her for that. Like we don't know how good or bad she'll be. I guess I'll reserve judgment, but it just seems like a weird fit. I guess I could see her as a post-fight interviewer because you want the pretty girl in the octagon next to the fighter or whatever. But I know I'm being, prejudiced in that. But yeah, I'd actually like to see Moros and Paige. I think that'd be a good fight. I could even see Paige winning that one.
Yeah. So what? Wait. So what's Paige gonna do?
She says that she wants to start commentating like an announcer, like Dominic Cruz and
Yeah.
DC.
She wants to
Yeah,
do like color commentary, play by play,
yeah.
like
Ah.
3-man booth or lady booth, whatever.
Ah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The only other I'm not gonna count Juliana Pena. I'm sorry. I'm trying to go to that Combate Americas card at the end of the month too, but I'm sorry, Juliana. I'm not a fan of your commentary. But Julie Kedzi's great. And some people don't seem to like her, but I think she's great on the mic. But she's basically the only one. So
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Hopefully she does a good job, better than Juliana.
that's a pretty low bar to set. But yeah, I mean, to me, if she can be better than Pena, then she has some kind of future. Julie Ketty, I guess, is the gold standard because she's like one of the only ones doing it. But
She's been doing it for a while too, man.
and she's fought forever too. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What about you, Rory? I mean, this was basically going on in your backyard, right, in Philly. What'd you think of the card, or what stuck out to you?
All right, for the most part, I did like the card, but the thing that stuck out to me, I don't know if it's really a positive, but I feel like David Branch kind of let me down. Um, just because that was it ended fast, and he's one of those guys where I always think like he's about to bring it, but he's on like a 2-fight losing streak right now, and I just feel like he has the ability to win fights and be a top contender, but it just somehow never happens for him. So I don't really know what's going on with him, but I don't know. Like he lost in 49 seconds. And then the
Yeah,
fight before that, I mean, granted it got to the second round, but in the second round he lost in like 30 seconds too. It just seems like I don't know what his approach is. Like I just don't know, but it just seems like it's not working out for him right now, and that always disappoints me because I feel like against the top guys, like people always talk about MMA math. I feel like against the top guys, he has a good shot, but then like he just can't get there.
you know what sucks is that he's basically been finished in all his losses in the UFC. Rockhold TKO'd him, Cannonier knocked him out, and then he got submitted. But he was doing really good in the Rockhold fight, and then he got mounted and it was over. He was doing good in the Cannonier fight, and then he got knocked out. And then this one, I mean, it was so fast. I mean, he made a mistake. He made a mistake, and he paid the price. But it just sucks because given his current streak, it looks like who knows. I mean, I don't think they're gonna cut him, but who knows? You know,
And then
UFC's
it's
kind of unpredictable. You know.
and then it's weird because like back to the MMA math thing I was talking about, he knocks out Thiago Santos, and now Thiago Santos is fighting John Jones for the belt. So it's like I don't know. That's what I mean when I say I feel like he can like compete with the top level guys, but there's just some kind of like weird formula or something weird inside of him where he just can't get to that point where he can, I mean, really get in there with the top guys. I don't know.
Seems
Reen,
like
care to comment?
yeah, he seems I don't know, he seems kind of gun shy. I had high hopes for him when he was fighting Luke Rockhold. I really wanted him to beat his ass, but no.
Well,
That
I
made me
mean,
so sad.
some people kind of shit on him when he was in the World Series of Fighting, kind of like, oh yeah, he's just beating up cans, and for the most part he was. But I was like, you know what? It's not that middleweight and light heavyweight the hardest weight classes, but he basically beat everybody they gave him. There's got to be worth something. I guess I'm with Rory. I expected him to be doing much better, but although his losses have been quote unquote bad, I haven't. I guess I don't count him that badly against him because he's been showing some success, but it just always ends up bad for him. You know, honestly, I know Cody Garbrandt was a champion, but I have more stock in Branch than in Garbrandt because it just seems like he will not fix his liabilities, whereas Branch, I think it's just tune some things up here and there, and he can be a top dude, but he needs to get on it like right now.
Yeah, now would be a good time to maybe switch the approach a little bit. And I don't know. He does kind of. I mean, this fight he kind of like seemed like he was ready. It's just Jack was just a little bit more ready, I guess.
Yeah, Hermanson's an animal, man. I think a lot of people have slept on him. He's that guy that comes back. He can come back from an ass beating and beat you. And like I said, he just took advantage when he saw an opening in the first round. But yeah, I know I was surprised. I'm just wondering who Hermanson's gonna fight next. And yeah, hopefully Branch doesn't get cut. But I think the one that stuck out for me. I mean, obviously the main event was nuts. Although I was a little bit upset because I wish it would have gone longer. Although the 5, 6 leg kicks that Gagey ate. I mean, I'm sure he was not wishing that the fight went longer, but I think one of the things that stuck out to me, there was two things that stuck out to me. Sadiq Yusuf, Rain, our boy.
Yeah,
Yep, we've been talking about Yusuf. We love that dude, but man, that was a very very impressive fight, especially in the second round. Shaman, I became a bigger fan of Shaman too. He was throwing on the attacks, heavy Muay Thai attacks, elbows, kicks, and he was just kicking through everything. Like he was doing that whole, chopping the tree down axe style with his kicks, and all his elbows were there to, just knock you the hell out. And then he gets Yusuf gets that knockdown in the third round. I thought that was a hell of a fight, a good performance. And then we were talking off air, that he called out Kron, right, Yusuf?
Yeah, he called out Kron Gracie, man.
that doesn't really excite me. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Really?
But I'm not really a Crone Gracie like guy. Like I like him, but like I feel like I feel like there's too much talk about him right now. I feel like he should get some like solid wins against some guys that can really strike. Then I'd be excited to see how he handles that.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to witness a murder. Like, I don't know how he's going to do with
I mean, I think Yusuf did a smart thing to call out Kron because we don't know how he'll deal with high level strikers, and I think Yusuf is that.
I think so
Yeah,
too. I think
exactly.
Yusuf could definitely beat him.
Whew, man.
And
It's good for him because he's calling out a name. So, I mean, it really helps his brand, but ugh.
the thing is too, kind of to add what you were saying, Rory, about Kron is, I think people are kind of treating him like he's this, and I guess he is kind of a prospect, but he's not young. he's like 30, 31 years old. Like it's not. This isn't a guy to take your time with. Like I think if he's gonna make it, he should make it now. I'm not saying throw him in a title match within a fight or two, but like definitely give him the big dogs and see where he's at. Like I wouldn't even be opposed to him fighting Brian Ortega. Like I know that that's a guy way above his pedestal, but I guess just for the jiu-jitsu factor, I want to see it.
I don't think I want to see that. I think T City would get him out of there pretty quick.
I'm not the biggest T City fan, but I'm also not a fan of Flatter's Kron. So I guess whoever goes, I guess that's why I want to see it, because whoever goes, I'm not gonna be mad.
You just want to see an ass beam, don't you?
I just need to see Kron tested against somebody that not only has striking ability but is like willing to engage. Because Alex Caceres is a decent striker, but he's not the guy that's always going to come forward. He likes to lean back. He likes to counter. He likes to read. He doesn't really pull like right away. I want to see him get in there with like a confident striker. That's someone that's going to be able to, counter his takedowns. Somebody that's going to be able to time their shots, throw them when they're ready. Like I want to see that guy go in there and fight Kron Gracie, because it didn't look like his defense was that great as far as stand-up went. So I just and his hands weren't really there for me. So I just need to see him fight at least 2 more times before I say, all right, he's a contender.
Well, he's I believe he trained. I know he trained with the Diaz brothers. I don't know if that's where he did all his striking training, but I mean the Diaz brothers are boxers and they're not known for their defense. So if he's taking up after them, I don't think it's going to spell well for him. Even, I guess Melendez is a little bit better, but he's also not what he once was. So who knows what they're teaching him as far as striking goes. But it's, I think his thing's always just going to be take people to the ground. I think he's going to be that Damian Maya type. But like I said, I do want to see him and Yusuf. I think that'd be a good fight. Just sucks that I did learn this weekend. I wasn't aware that Yusuf is the Lloyd Irving guy. And, anybody that knows anything about Lloyd Irvin knows that that's bad news. So there is that, and hopefully he knows what's up and leaves that camp soon. I almost wish he loses now, so he thinks that he needs to switch camps, and that'll be a good thing. But
hopefully it doesn't take a loss for him to realize that.
One can only hope, but fighters can be hard-headed, so that's the only reason I say that. The other thing that stuck out for me though, the girl I was really discounting, Marina Rodriguez. Ooh, that girl's violent as all hell, man. I was so impressed with what she did to Jessica Aguilar. I wish she wouldn't. And I do mean this like literally. She reminds me of John Jones with her attack, including the eye pokes. She was going all in with those fucking things, man. But
I'm not saying anything bad about John Jones ever
on the
air.
Why?
John Jones does not poke anybody in their eyes ever. I do not know what you guys are talking about.
He's never done cocaine either,
huh? Those were pixie sticks.
Pixie.
God damn,
oh man.
Yeah,
he does no wrong.
Reen, did you see this girl? Did you see this fight with her and Jag?
I saw part of it.
Man, I think even if you saw a minute of it, you see how fucking violent it was, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything with that chick is she kind of actually reminds, like on the female side, she reminds me kind of like Lucy Pugilova. She's very violent, very mean, very aggressive. Mm-hmm. But her Muay Thai attack, everything, her clinch, knees, elbows, kicks, and even her punches. I sometimes criticize Muay Thai based fighters because their punches aren't all that great, but her punches are pretty good. They still need some work, but she definitely has power. She's big. I don't know if she can keep up with the division as far as with the weight cut, because she seems very, very big. And her first fight in the UFC, she went to a draw with Randa Marcos, and I kind of was looking at Randa bad after that fight. Like, you went to a draw with this girl, but seeing what she did now, it's like, I guess it makes sense. I guess that was a good fight for both of them. Did you catch this, Rory?
Yeah. She's like pretty fluid, but I need more still. I need more.
Well, this is what her second. Actually, I think I have her record right here. I know it's her second UFC fight. Oh, she's 11-0. So I mean, good. She's undefeated, but
Yeah.
not that many fights. And I know Jag ain't what she used to be either, but for people to put a whooping on her, like it's pretty impressive. Usually Jag wasn't a person that you looked good against. So you know, Weili Zhang, and that was one of her last wins before she beat Torres, and everyone thought Torres was a big step up, and she ended up beating her. So who knows? Maybe Jag is a good measuring stick at this point.
Yeah, that might be where she's at now, unless she somehow decides to switch things up, and maybe that does something for her. But there's very few fighters these days where, like, their debut really, I look at their debut and I'm like, all right, this is a real contender. Like, more than lately, I've been needing to see people string together some wins, and I don't know if that's like how it's supposed to be, but again, very few fighters that just walk into the UFC and I'm like, they have it. Like, other than Adesanya, can't really think of anybody else that just came in and I was like, all right, they're definitely challenging for the belt.
Oh yeah, and this is by no means saying that Rodriguez is going to be a title challenger or anything. I mean, maybe some point in the future. I don't know as of yet. I'm just saying I want to see her against some top 15 girls.
Yeah,
Obviously bottom 15. Not don't jump in the deep end. But I get what you're saying. I mean, you could ask Green about my feelings on Macy Barber, or in case you've heard this podcast before, you know what's up with her. Everyone's riding her jock, and I'm not on it, am I, Irene?
Nope, he hates her.
I might be on it.
Yeah, I'm the odd one out, and I'm aware
I might
of
be
this.
hanging off the Macy Barber jock strap if she wears one or whatever. I don't know. But
I will
if she
say,
does have one, I think I'm hanging on it because I see a lot of skill. And like a big thing with me when I'm watching fighters is timing and spacing. And I feel like she has that in spurts and it's only going to get better. And I feel like that's like the secret key to like really being a successful fighter. And I see that with her, so I'm on her train.
yeah, I brought this up on one of the last podcasts about her. My thing with her is that good for her that she's confident. I mean, it's one of the things that kind of rubs me the wrong way about her. But I mean, props to her. I get why she does it. But the thing is, she seems to put a lot of pressure on herself, and I don't think that's good. I know it's only a matter of time before she loses, and whether it's a close decision loss or a bad knockout or whatever it may be, I just don't know if she's gonna take it well. Like there's things of that kind of remind me of like Ronda and Jacek about her that we saw when they lost, they didn't take it so well. So that's kind of what I'm thinking with her. But like I said, I know she's young. I know she is gonna get better, and I gave her props for the JJ Aldridge fight. But I just think it's gonna get dark for her at one point or another. But moving on to the other card, one championship had like their biggest fight card this weekend, and Demetrius still getting some wins. Angela Lee lost for the first time, and then Eddie Alvarez got knocked out. What were your guys' highlights on this one? I'll start with you, Irene.
The Angela Lee fight. Jesus, man. I saw that the armbar.
Yeah.
She was, oh my god, like I can't believe she survived. That was so brutal, man. I mean, she had like what, a minute 30 left on the clock too?
Yeah.
And that arm was just getting all jacked up, and as soon as the bell rung, like she just popped up like nothing happened.
I feel like that's going to be the same direction we all go with this card because that was like insane.
Yeah, I mean, I saw. I wish I could name him now. Somebody got at me on Twitter that said that Angela Lee that it was reminding them of Ronda Rousey with her striking and her defense and stuff. And I was never under the impression that Lee was a striker, so it didn't surprise me that much. She did a few things. She did get a few good shots in, but yeah, I mean, it was totally got outclassed on the feet. Yeah.
She got washed.
And this girl, I hope I say it, Jingnan Zhang. Sorry, it's not gonna come out right, but
Call it JNX.
That's good. I like that. No, she's good, man, and she's so violent. You just see it in her face. She's so, and I don't know her background exactly. I don't know if she got straight into MMA or she was in another martial art before this, but I knew it in her style. I've seen how she would play with Lee, how she would mock her, and some of the things she was doing. She looks to have a good like a Thai background from what I saw. The way she would kick, she kicks through you. Her body attacks are nasty. Even her punches. It's surprising she has so much power. She has pretty good punches too. But yeah, she. Oh, I felt so bad. It's just seeing her in the fifth round. Just any little shot she'd take to the body was just. She'd take those teeps too. I know she got finished with a punch to the body, but those teeps she was taking, like you could see, just sucked all the wind out of her. That shit was brutal, man.
That was insane. She
Yeah,
was she was swinging after her arm was all jacked up.
yeah, and I don't know. Did she say, or is any confirmed? Did she break it, or did she tear something? Because pretty amazing if she didn't.
It didn't seem like it because she popped up and she was like swinging her arm like nothing happened. But her face while she was on the ground,
Hmm.
like it looked like she was in pain.
Yeah, there's no way she wasn't. She had that extended. Did she have it hyperextended? I think for a second, but man, she definitely was stretching that thing out.
That was insane, man. She went in there and just beat up Lee, and Angela was already gassed out from all that work she was doing in that last round. So, yeah, that was a good fight. I saw that one. I saw the Eddie Alvarez one. Poor Eddie. And then the DJ fight too. I saw that one. I didn't get to see the Gary Tonin one though. I need to go back and watch it.
It was pretty impressive. He got, well, he didn't get the mount. I think he got a back mount and just TKO'd him. I mean, he could have gone for the choke, but it seemed like he wanted to work on his ground and pound. Like, oh, all right, this kid's got something to prove. I was impressed. The one fight that did catch my eye with did you guys see the Yotsenklai Andy Sauer fight?
Yeah.
Did you see it, Rin?
No, I didn't get to see that one. I gotta watch that one too.
Yeah, Yotsenklai fucked him up. I remember when I was first getting into the world of Muay Thai and seeing like these, the top Thai kickboxers, people would talk about Yotsenklai, and I was like, I don't really see the big deal about him. But now seeing the way most traditional Thai fighters fight, he's very interesting. He has. It's not just that he has power and that he has good hands. He has very educated punches, and he obviously mixes them up with his knees and his kicks. And yeah, he fucks Sauer up, man. That was a bad knockout. Yeah, DJ got a good one. That was a nasty guillotine. That was a pretty solid submission. And then Alvarez, like I keep on, I now see him as the chick from Kill Bill, L Driver with the eye patch, because he got his eyeball fucking smashed, man. That wasn't even like the orbital, like it looked like his eyebrow just got smushed.
Dude.
I had him losing that fight, surprisingly.
You thought he was gonna lose?
Yeah, I did.
Well, the guy he fought, I mean, he has nasty in his name, so I guess we shouldn't have been too surprised.
Yeah, you're
I'm,
right.
I don't know. I wonder. I think it's easy to say that Alvarez might be washed, but I don't know. He just didn't look himself here. I don't know. I don't know how he's going to continue here.
Damn, that was a bad debut for him. Because weren't people like expecting him to win?
Yeah, they're
I think
expecting
the
him to win the
majority
whole.
of people wanted.
They're expecting him to win the whole tournament.
Right? Okay.
Yep. But we'll see where it goes with this guy. I mean, he might be legit. That's the thing, is that, for the old school fans, I don't know if you guys know of a Sokuju. Those type of fighters still exist. Could get some crazy knockouts, but they really don't end up being shit. So, who knows what this guy's gonna be? Or to go further back, Buster Douglas or Reen. You'll probably like this one, Holly Holm, because it seems like a lot of people have that take on her, that she was a one hit wonder. So who knows where this will go?
Yeah, we'll see if she captures the title next.
What's weird, just
people not like Gary Tonin.
I kind of think people might have an issue with the Danaher Death Squad. I think people just look at them kind of like, I don't know, like like the Chicago Bulls in the '90s. It's like, oh, they're just too good, or whatever. Like the the Golden State Warriors now. It's like you just have like an all-star team. I don't know. I don't follow jiu-jitsu too closely, but if I had to guess, I would think it'd be that.
I love Gary, man. I want him to fight Dylan.
It's
Hadn't
just
they
Dylan
beat
McDowell.
him?
every time I see Gary Tonin fight, like afterwards, he tweets and he's like, "I don't care if you guys like me or not. Like, here I am."
Yep.
And I'm like, wait, Gary, who doesn't like you?
Maybe he wants to be hated. I don't know.
Sometimes I think like, are you trying to start something here? Like, I don't know what you're trying to do. If you want to be a heel, then you're gonna have to do something. I don't know. But right now, it's like I thought everybody was excited for Gary Tonin and liked him fight, but after every fight, he's like, "Hey, man, you guys don't like me. It's whatever. I'm still winning." I'm like,
Yeah, I guess
okay.
people complain about him, but I'm like, I don't see any of that, so I don't
never see
know.
it. I never see it. It's so weird. I
Yeah.
think he even tweeted the other day. He was like a lot of you guys are like talking bad about me, but you don't have the heart to get in here, and like you'll never step in an octagon or a cage. Sorry, trademark, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was just
Yeah.
like, wait a second, Gary. Who doesn't like you?
Maybe there's like I don't want to say a stigma, but maybe there's like this reputation that some people have that jiu-jitsu fighters in particular, that they're not maybe tough, because they've never been punched in the face, so they probably just there's probably a group of people that want to see them lose because they've never been in a quote unquote real fight. Because I don't think I've seen that for like Gokhan Saki. When he got in the UFC, everyone was excited,
I was.
Yeah, and I was too, but I think we're excited because we know he can knock people out and he's a striker. I think with jiu-jitsu guys, people have this bias, like, oh, they don't really know how to fight. Like, am I missing something, Irene, or you think you have any other ideas?
No, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like he's had all finishes, and they were pretty brutal for a grappler, right? A no-gi champion, jiu-jitsu guy. Like he's doing really good out there.
Yeah, and he's definitely strong. He's definitely got power. Obviously, he's got to work on some technique and his striking and stuff, but he's very strong. Obviously, very gifted on the ground, and he can hit pretty fucking hard. So he's gonna go pretty far. Just depends on how they match him up and how he keeps going with his career. So there's no fights this weekend, but we figured we'd preview one or two fights from the 236 card next week. We'll preview the big fights on next week's podcast, but we figured we'd go into a little preview of a few fights that caught our eye. So let's start with Curtis Millender versus Bilal Muhammad. Rory, I'll let you start with this one. What do you think about this fight? Who do you think can win?
Honestly, another one that's like, I could see it being exciting, but hopefully it's not one of these fights where like both guys are like super aware or like trying to figure each other out for too long. And the only reason why I think that could happen is because Bilal's coming off of a loss, and so is Milliner. So it's like, it's two guys that are both talented, both coming off losses. Are they really going to try to go out there and risk, overexerting or risk overperforming to try to make a statement, or are they both going to try to secure a win? I think that's my question. But as far as who I would pick to win, I would go Milliner. I really like his skill set.
I kind of agree with what you're saying because he was on a 9-fight win streak. So he was riding on that big time, right? And then now he's going to fight Muhammad. Yeah, I'm thinking the same. Like, is he going to be a little bit more cautious with this? It could be like either a really good fight or a really boring fight.
I think it's going to end up being a decent fight. I don't even think I think last fight Curtis came out pretty confident. It just didn't end up going his way. And I think he usually does show some confidence when he's in the cage. So if he just remains himself, I think he has a good shot at beating Bilal Muhammad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've said before that Curtis Millender reminds me of 170-pound Anthony Rumble Johnson. Obviously doesn't have the one punch knockout power, but very similar frame. Obviously very strong, throws good combos. Muhammad is a dog, man. That dude loves to scrap, but I think sorry, Muhammad. I think Millinger is smart and tricky enough to be able to counter him to keep his distance. I think he can outpoint him. Yeah, I guess we're all in agreement there. I guess I'd
Well,
go Millinger, but I'd go
I'm gonna
Millinger by
actually say he's
decision.
gonna knock him out.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask you, like method. How about you, Rain? So knockout for Rory. What about
Yeah.
you?
Oh man. Yeah, I think it's possible.
Muhammad's
Cause
a tough son of a bitch, man. I think
I
the only guy that's
know,
knocked him out is Luque, and we now know how hard that guy hits.
right? But he could get reckless sometimes, right?
I'm gonna put it
So
out right now. My prediction: Curtis Milliner, second round KO via head kick.
damn,
That'd be something.
right?
There it is, guys.
Put a stamp on that
Exactly.
one.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Muhammad is so tough, and I think he does have a granite chin. I don't put the Luque knockout. I don't count that against him because Luque can knock any man out. But yeah, I mean, I can see that Millender's definitely nifty, but I just think he'll tough it out and go to a decision, and hopefully it is a fun ass fight. But yeah, you brought up some good points, Rory, about them maybe being cautious. The other fight I want to talk about is Alexandra Pantoja versus Wilson Hayes. Um, I haven't brought up too many flyweight fights in the podcast because who the hell knows what's going to happen with that division right now. It doesn't seem, the people in the division don't know what the hell's happened, but what's
I
going to happen.
know. I know. When I saw this on it, I'm like, are we really gonna talk about this?
I wanted to talk about this one because I'm a big fan of Pantoja, and I'm so with Wilson Hayes, but I think it can be a very interesting fight because of Hayes' grappling. If they go to the ground, I think it'll be super interesting, and if it stays standing, I think
Mhm.
Pantoja can piece him up. But what are your guys' thoughts? You can start, Reen.
I don't want to invest in this.
None of us do. None of us do, but sometimes it
Yeah,
has to be done.
I won't even lie. I'm not interested in this fight at all. Like on a scale from like 1 to 10, it would be like a 2.
I mean, is it that thing of that there's no clear contenders in the division and they all might go away next week?
Yeah, like right now, flyweights just like I love the flyweights, but until they know what they're gonna do with the flyweights, then I'm not gonna care.
Right? Exactly. They keep on messing with us, man.
Like they keep giving us good flyweight fights, but then they're making non-flyweight decisions. So like if they can decide, all right, we're gonna keep them, then that's when I'll get invested in flyweights. But until that happens, I'm gonna worry more about Adesanya or the matchup against Eric Anders and Khalil Roundtree, which I think is going to be crazy. I think Jalen Turner is also on that card. That's a guy that I look forward to seeing. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
I've had my eye on that guy too for a while. He's not really a local, but he is from SoCal. But I saw one of his fights when he was in the regional scene here, so I've always kept my eye on him. And another guy that got knocked out by Luke viciously. So man, I don't know. I can't keep on bringing Luke up because I just think dude has a bright future. But yeah, I've been high on Turner for a while. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of good fights. Only bringing these up because there's nothing really happening this weekend, so I figured we'd talk about something. But yeah, I will definitely be talking about those next week. Um, I don't know. Do you guys have a pick? I guess I basically get mine away. I'm going with Pantoja. I think he can beat him striking. But if you guys had a pick, who do you think?
Eh.
So she really doesn't care.
It just sucks because my favorite flyweight, he got traded. So, and then what's happening with this division? It's like, what are we doing here? I thought we traded DJ so we can dismantle this division, but here it is. It's still here, and we keep having all these good fights, but it doesn't really mean anything.
Pantoja, I do like him, but I feel like Wilson Hayes is in a weird position where even though he's coming off of a win, I feel like he still has to win.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he had it like
to me he's one of those guys where like if they are getting rid of flyweight, uh I don't know. I don't know if they would keep him around.
right? He needs
I
he
would
needs a
hope
win.
so.
Yeah, he
He
definitely
needs to
needs a
like
win.
make a statement as somebody that the UFC wants to keep, not like just a division. Like he
Yeah,
needs
truth
to
be
be like
told,
he
no,
needs to
truth
be
be told, I'm surprised he hasn't been cut already. You know, it just he doesn't seem to have that style that like you know as we were saying about the fights. Like I'm worried now that they'll cut Davison Figueiredo. You know, he just lost to Formiga 2 weeks ago, and he's a top guy. But yeah, I mean, he lost. Some people with one loss, that's all it takes for them to lose. So I guess I guess a lot of flyweight fights are very important in the fact that every single one of them is fighting for their job. Maybe they won't get a title shot at it, but it's like, well, you lose, you're getting the fuck out of here.
I
Yeah,
feel like Dana White has like a clipboard in the back that has everyone's name on it, and if they lose, he just like slowly crosses them off.
Yep,
That's how it's like feeling right now, and it's
like a
weird
hit
for
list.
Hayes, yeah, because he's faced like look at the people he's faced in the UFC. He fought DJ, he fought Cejudo, he fought Moraga, he fought Ben Nguyen, like Dustin Ortiz, Formiga, like even back in the day, Jorgensen, like he's never had a fight that I would consider easy.
Yep.
So like, I don't know. That would be a shame if he got cut.
yeah. And I would go for Wilson if this really mattered.
All right, it's a pick. It's a pick, and I guess that's all that matters.
Sorry, it just
No,
hurts my feelings every time we talk about the flyweight division.
no,
You
it's okay.
know,
And
you
this
know
is
something weird about Wilson Hayes to me? He's had 32 professional MMA fights. He's never had one knockout. Isn't that weird?
he's a flyweight. I don't know how many flyweights get knockouts. I mean, I guess it's surprising given his ground game that he probably didn't mount somebody and TKO him. You know, but
Yeah, that's
I
what I'm saying. Like never even like flurry of punches or like a combination of punches or a ground and pound, like nothing.
well
It's
like
either been a decision or a sub.
who's the guy? There's a pretty was it Rumble? Uh, there's a pretty high profile fighter who has like no submission wins like at all. Like they're almost all knockouts. I forget. I don't know if it was Rumble or somebody, but yeah, I always trip out when I see that. Like you got to have at least one submission or at least one TKO. Like I get what you're saying. I guess in flyweight it just doesn't surprise me that much.
Now, what if it happens this time?
Oh, good for him. He keeps his job.
Does he?
I think so. Pretty sure.
I hope so.
Pretty sure. Yeah, because Pantoja doesn't seem like he's on the UFC's like favorite. I mean, he's a good, exciting fighter to me anyway, but who knows what they think of him.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah, moving on though, we're gonna go on to the tweet of the week, and this week's tweet goes to our friend Reen, drunk ass Uncle Bobby at Fukalo. So he tweeted.
What did he say?
So he tweeted, apparently the folks over at Shameless, the TV show Shameless, apparently the folks over at Shameless are big Yoel Romero fans, and he screenshotted a picture of his Netflix, and it's an episode of Shameless of season 8, episode 10, and the episode is called The Church of Gay Jesus.
What?
Yeah, that's for real.
What?
Yeah.
I don't watch much TV, so I'm just gonna say I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I don't watch the show either. I rarely watch TV, but I just thought it was funny given. Well, we're gonna talk about Yoel in a second too, because apparently Jesus isn't helping him out much with his health. So thought it was a good callback to the time when everybody hated him.
Yeah. Too funny.
We're gonna go into some recent matchups, and we'll start there, I guess, with Yoel Romero. He was supposed to fight Jacare in a rematch at the end of the month, the next ESPN card, and he just pulled out. And the weirdest thing about the original matchup was between Romero and Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa got pulled for some unknown reason, and he was replaced with Jacare. And now Romero's pulled out, and he's getting replaced again with Borachina. So I have no idea what's going on. I mean, unless something came up last minute, is there any clarity to this? Is there any details? I know that Romero got sick, but any reason of why they chose Costa to replace him?
Maybe because there was so much speculation that Romero was going to fight Costa, and I don't know. Maybe he's just like I don't know. When I think of one, I think of the other these days. So why not? They might as well.
Well, it's just so weird because they pulled Costa, and nobody ever said why. They just said we decided to go with Jacare. It's like it's not like they were in negotiations and all of a sudden they went with Jacare last minute. Like they were in the middle of training camp. They're like, you know what? It's like 5 6 weeks out. You're fighting Jacare all of a sudden. That's when I think Romero said that he had been flagged by Osada. But if they're bringing him back in, I guess that's not the case unless there's even shadier shit than we hope is going on. Like I don't know. This is so weird. I don't think I've ever seen this. What did you think, Rain?
Is he sick or is he injured?
It said sick. And what I read was that he got what they believe is pneumonia. He had like a
Oh
really
shit.
yeah, he had like a really bad fever and pain in his body and stuff. So who knows if it is that severe or maybe it's not that bad or something else. But that's what they'd initially said.
Damn, that sucks. Yeah, I'm trying to like look up Reddit because they usually know.
Yeah,
They know. They know everything.
yeah, it was illness. I know that for sure. The only thing is, I'm just puzzled. I'm really trying to figure out why they brought in Costa of all people.
Yeah.
I know the ladies love him for his muscles and shit, but I mean, if you had an issue of why you pulled him in the first, unless they just wanted to save
Shit.
him, like, oh, maybe it's not a good matchup against Romero, and they're like, oh, fuck it, I guess you could beat Jacare. I
Yeah.
don't get it.
Wait, was he injured? Was Costa injured, or was it the Wasada thing that Yoel said
Well,
he was off?
Costa talked shit to Romero because he said that that wasn't true, that he was just lying, that he was just talking shit. So I don't know. Maybe he was telling the truth because I don't see how they could have okayed it. I mean, seems like the only person that gets that treatment is Rory's homeboy, is John Jones. So I don't know what's happening here with Costa.
Well, the thing with Costa is he may have done something wrong, so that's the difference.
Well,
Because he's bodied up. Because it's obvious.
at least
Nah,
he
I'm
can
not.
talk.
I hate that. I hate when I see that. Not you, but I hate when I see like weird, chubby, out of shape people on Twitter, and they're like, "Oh man, that guy must be on roids." I'm like, maybe if you like got up for like 10 minutes and worked out, you might be able to look like Paulo Costa too. So let's just see what. I mean, the body's capable of doing all kinds of things,
Well, that
and if,
dude's
I'm
got
gonna,
freak genetics, man. He
Yeah.
does.
yeah. And also, if he ends up getting busted later, then you can take this out. But but as of right now, I'm a big believer in that he just works really hard on his physique, and it pays off.
I've never looked into his background. I don't know. He's Brazilian, so I guess it's safe to assume that he trained jiu-jitsu before he got into MMA, but who knows, man? I mean, he's so bodied up. I would not have been surprised if he was like a former bodybuilder or something, because that just doesn't come easily. I mean, like Romero, he's got a ridiculous body too, but he's been wrestling since he was like two. It kind of makes sense, but
Well,
what?
he's Brazilian, right? So
Yeah, as I said, they got freak genetics,
yeah,
men and women.
you gotta look good down there, right?
Yeah,
I don't know. Ask Machida.
I think they can imprison you if you're out of shape in Brazil.
Huh.
Well, Machida's walking around free, so I don't know.
Well, he's part Japanese, so that's where his downfall is, right?
I don't know.
We
I
would
don't
know.
know. I don't know. I have no idea. All I know is Romero hits really hard. That's what I do know.
That shit's funny.
And I know Costa hits hard as well. And I
Yeah.
don't know if that has to do with their genetics, their freak genetics or whatever, but hey, eventually they'll fight and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I hope it happens soon because man, Yoel's getting up there in age.
Yeah,
I
but it
could
doesn't
see him
seem, it
being
doesn't
like the
seem to
first
matter.
50-year-old champion.
What, Cuban supplements?
Maybe.
Romero's the one guy that is ridiculous as he is. For some reason, I'm like, all right, I can believe you're natural just because Cubans have. There's some ridiculous people, man. I don't know how they do it, but especially their Olympic athletes, they're ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, actually, something that came up earlier in the week was like Ruslan Magomedov. I was not surprised that he's the first UFC athlete to be banned for life for steroids. Because, truth be told, I'll never trust a Russian with steroids. I think all of them are fucking on it, man. that's why that's why I think I've gotten a lot of hate for the shit I've talked about Fedor. Because I'm like, yeah, I mean, it was pride and everyone was doing them, and I know he looks chubby and stuff, but come on, man, he's Russian. I mean, the fucking government has the shit out like Skittles, you know?
I don't endorse Skittles either, by the way. Sorry if that messes up sponsorships with you in the future, but I can't stand the taste of Skittles.
Oh, I don't even remember the last time I ate one, but yeah, it's weird. That's my prejudice against Russians, I guess, is that I'll never trust them to be clean. But speaking of Russians, we got a Russian that got also is out of a fight. Alexander Volkov, he's out, and he's being replaced by Alexei Olenek. He's gonna fight Overeem at St. Petersburg, which if I'm not mistaken, Reen, I believe that's your birthday. I believe it's on 420.
Yes, sir, it is.
Yeah, I knew you'd know that.
Damn, dude. Overeem's still fighting? Oh my god.
He got a win in his last fight against some other unknown Russian.
He's another one. I'm like, can you maybe hang it up soon before you get hurt? I mean,
He's been hurt. He's been hurt. He's been knocked out like I think, including kickboxing. He's been knocked out like 20 times.
right? So, like, can we stop? Like, I thought the Francis fight would maybe, you know, help him pull back on some of this. Because, goddamn, he was sent
And
to orbit. Jesus.
and I know that one was terrifying, but then the fight
Yeah.
right after that was Blades. Remember those fucking those elbows he was taking up to the forehead? Like that shit was terrifying. And he's like, I kind of admire him in a way. Like, dude, for you to be that determined, like I'm gonna keep going. Like that's the whole reason. Like Michael Bisping, I know a lot of people didn't like him, but I loved him for that reason too. Like he
Yeah.
would get knocked the fuck out, and it's like, nope, I'm still gonna become champion. Everybody laughed at him, and then look what happened.
Damn, dude. But Overeem, he's been doing it since he was a kid.
Yeah, Overeem's different, and he's a heavyweight. So I know, it's bad, but I gotta give respect where I gotta give credit where credit's due. That dude's a warrior. He may not have a chin, but dude's a fucking warrior. He keeps going.
That chin's chipping away slowly.
I mean, it's been glass for at least a decade, but
God.
what the fuck is it now?
Yeah. But he's still hanging on, so, like, what do you call it? Like, I don't know. I don't like to see him fight.
Personally, I want to see Overeem fight for the duration of my life. I really like watching him fight, and I want him to go to Bellator, and I want him to challenge for the title in his first fight. That's what I want.
It would be well. I mean, has anyone said is Bader staying up at heavyweight? And does anyone even know what's happening over there? Because
Oh yeah, huh? What's been going on with that?
Bader's the heavyweight champion.
Yeah, but when's his next fight?
I don't think anything has been announced. I wasn't he saying that he was. I don't think it was the last fight in his contract, but almost. So I know he's probably just negotiating with him now.
Uh,
But
I don't know.
I think it just sucks for him. I think it just sucks for him because there's no way he's coming back to the UFC, even with 2 titles, even with knocking out Fedor.
I mean, and what are his options at heavyweight in Bellator right now?
I mean, yeah. I mean, well, he beat what? Mitrione, King Mo. King Mo's not a heavyweight. Mitrione's meh. And Fedor, who's good, but not himself. I mean, what? He's going to take out Big Country, Frank Mir,
It's just weird.
Karatanov.
Like, who do you give the shot to after a tournament?
I guess Karatanov. I think he's like on a 2-fight win streak, and he's got knockouts. I don't know. It's just a matter of is he gonna stay, and then I mean, is he gonna want to stay a heavyweight too? I don't know if he's able to defend both titles. I'm pretty sure that'll be tough for him.
So basically, what you're saying is they're giving it to Czech Congo.
God damn it! I hope not.
Or Jack Swagger.
oh, Swagger, that's right.
I'm sure you'd like that, Irene.
Well, he's a face, right? I mean, What else are they gonna do?
Bellator did.
Make it
Uh,
exciting somehow.
Bellator did sign Kimbo versus Dada, so we can't put anything past them.
True. Oh, and I think they just announced Chael and Machida.
Yes, that's right. I think that just came out earlier today or yesterday. That's well, Rory was talking about Machida earlier. What do you think about that one?
I'm still thinking about. I wasn't kidding when I said I really do think it's going to be Czech Congo.
I mean, yeah, I know. I didn't really take it as a joke all the way because yeah, I can see that.
He's on an 8-fight win streak.
Oh, that's right. Holy shit.
Yeah, Czech Congo's on an 8-fight win streak, and he just won like what 2 months ago, and he beat like somebody pretty important there.
Goddamn heavyweight MMA, man. It's MMA is lucky that it has boxing because anyone that's seen heavyweight boxing, that's the true bane of my existence. But if boxing didn't exist, it would be heavyweight MMA. Jesus Christ, man. But what do you guys think of this fight, Olenek versus Overeem? I think it's so funny that you get like the ultimate dad bod in Olenek versus this gigantic monster in Overeem, and then obviously the whole striker versus grappler thing. I actually think Olenek can take it.
I think I'm gonna go with Overeem here.
Well, that's your boy, right?
You can't Ezekiel choke everyone. Like,
oh, he could.
Or maybe you can. I don't
he
know.
could, and he has.
Yeah, maybe you can. Maybe you just go on the rest of your life just having someone lay on top of you and choke him out.
Olenek, he should just go get in the middle of the octagon, lay down, and be like, "Come on, let's go."
He's done that 2 fights in a row, right?
I believe so, yes. And in the UFC. He did it to like 10 dudes in Russia. Like, yeah, you can't do it in the UFC. And he's like, hold my beer.
Damn,
yeah,
dude.
He just keeps giving out them Ezekiel chokes, but I don't think Overeem can get Ezekiel choked. You ever see his neck?
Yeah, right?
He choked out Mark Hunt. And I know Mark Hunt doesn't have the best jiu-jitsu defense, but try and choke that man out. He could give you his back. You're not going to choke him out. That dude did, man. And he almost knocked his fucking head off like a minute before he choked him out, too. Like, Olenek's got some power, man. I'm a big believer in Olenek. I don't know how far he'll get, but I'd love to see him take out Overeem. And I really do think he could.
Oh, man.
I think that would personally hurt me if Overeem takes the L there.
Yeah. Of course, I'm going to go with Overeem, but...
Damn, you too, Reed?
Yeah. I have to.
I guess I'm like the lone standing hater of Overeem, man. It's weird. Like when I was younger, it seemed like nobody liked him. It seems like everybody hated him, and the older I get, it's like, wait, you like Overeem? Like 2 years ago, everybody hated his ass. I don't know. It's weird. Like I said, I'm kind of coming around to him too. Just for the respect factor of he's still doing it against better judgment. But all right, so that's another fight that has been announced. Co-main event for UFC Rochester, Vicente Luque, the guy we've been talking about. He's gonna fight Neil Magny. I don't see any way Magny survives this. And I like Magny. I'm a big Magny fan, but I don't think this. If he got knocked out that badly by Ponzinibbio, what the fuck is Luque gonna do to him?
Oh yeah, when I saw this on the notes, I'm like, holy shit, really? Okay, I'll watch it. But I don't think it's going to be a good night for Magny.
No. I think Magny's at that point now for me where, like, I don't know. I don't like using Gatekeeper, but I feel like he's the new test. Like, if you can beat him, you're in the upper half of the ranks. If you can't beat him, you're in trouble.
I think he's been that for a while, for at least a year. I think after the Condit fight, you know, I think that he kind of got that unofficial title on him. Yeah, it's just like I really, really do like Magny. I used to hate him at first because he was so boring when he came in the UFC, but then he got pretty exciting and he just kept fighting and fighting. He got this big win streak, but I think his better days are behind him. I know he's gonna get some wins still, but I just don't think they're gonna be as impressive as his initial run. So sorry, R.I.P. Magny. Hope it's not too bad because I do like you.
The gazelle.
That's if Barberina really didn't you know.
Put that was a
He
war
added
too,
some miles to him, so
for sure.
we'll see how he looks after that too.
Yeah, because I think that's in June, that card, and it'd been like 4 months between fights, and a
It was
war like
way
that.
too
Yeah,
long.
that's gonna be insane. Yeah, I hope he takes good care of himself. I hope he's not going too hard in sparring, because
You know
that
he
might.
is.
I hope for his sake he's not. I hope he's got some good coaches. But I know how the Brazilians can be too. They're very, they're very tough, hard headed as well. Another fight. Tanya Evinger's back. She's gonna fight Lena Landsberg at UFC Stockholm. Um, I don't know, Reen. I mean, we saw Evinger's first fight in the UFC against Cyborg, and obviously that didn't go too well. And then she fought Aspen Ladd. She'd have injuries. I don't think she's had a win in the UFC yet. You think she can do it against Landsberg, especially in her hometown?
Dude, Lena is a tough chick, man.
She is.
She's such a tough chick, but she's another one that's like, okay, what's going on with you? Win, lose, win, lose. But yeah, I mean, I want Tanya to win for sure, because I think they might end up cutting her, because 2 losses in a row with this one will be a third. So I mean,
Yeah,
come on, she was fighting Chris, so that was a given, and she was moving up weight class. So I mean, hopefully they won't be too brutal on her.
yeah. It's two TKOs losses in a row, and they were within a year each. She's only had two fights in UFC, and they've both been TKO losses.
Mm-hmm.
And there were two fights in 2 years, so
Yeah, and
she hasn't been too
they hate
active
her.
either. Yeah.
For some reason, they hate her. They don't have a good relationship with her. So
Sean Shelby's been the one, from what I hear. This has always been the word, although I don't know why. I don't, maybe because he's just some tough ass Midwestern chick and who doesn't play by the rules. I guess he didn't like that. I don't know. I don't know enough about Sean Shelby.
yeah, and then Lena, she got, Aspen Ladd beat both these girls too.
Yeah, Aspen Ladd's a monster. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's no shame. She was gonna fight Holly Holm next, and then, oh no, Aspen Ladd's fighting Sijara Eubanks now, of all fucking people.
What?
Yeah, I don't know why. She already beat her too. I don't know. I don't know why that's happening.
I'm just shaking my head. I don't.
What about you, Rory? What's up with you? What you think?
I like the fight. I like Sijara versus Aspen Ladd. I don't know. I like both girls. And I like both girls, and they're both skilled.
Well, the thing is, I saw this fight in Invicta, and Aspen Ladd beat her pretty handily. So I'm like, I don't think it's gonna go much different. But I'm talking about the Landsberg Evinger fight. What do you think about that one?
I like Lena Landsberg.
Yeah.
So I'm rolling with her. I was never really a big Tanya Evinger fan, although I do like how she fights. She's, I don't know. Not my style.
Soccer mom style.
Not my style of fighter. I like what she does in there, but I don't think it's going to be enough in this one.
I just love that, people say don't judge a book by its cover, but you look at Tanya Evinger and you can judge her on the cover. She's exactly what you think she is. That's what she is. She once knocked a dude out in a Walmart parking lot. She's fucking like a construction worker. Like, she's the most like butch fucking lesbian out there, man. She fucking owns it, and she loves it. I love her for it, man. I love that she's unapologetic, that she's un-PC. I love her. And
She kissed your
Landsberg,
girl.
yeah, Sanko. Well, Sanko was okay with it. It wasn't all rapey like that one dude, that fucking boxer who, yeah, it's not.
Yeah, he was tripping.
That was, whew, that was some.
I feel like I almost like Evinger outside of the cage more than I do in.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I get that. Sure, her style can be a bit boring at times, but I just like that she sticks to it. She's just dogged in that. But yeah, Evinger's my girl. I'm gonna go with her on this one. I haven't seen enough of Landsberg on the ground to think that she can submit her or keep it standing. So I'll take Evinger, so long as she doesn't have some weird hiccup like she did in the Aspen Ladd fight where she like quit right away. But yeah, so that's it for the recent matchups. There's a new story that came out few days ago about Endeavor, the parent company of the UFC, filing an IPO. So basically, they're going public, and it doesn't seem like it's been on the radar much, but this can have big implications for the UFC. What was your initial thoughts, Rain, when you read this?
I didn't think it was really real. Because why would they do this? That means that management will lose some of its power, right? So that's Dana. They would have to disclose a lot of information that they are not doing right now, especially like fighter pay and whatnot. So I don't think it's a good idea for the UFC. But UFC's under that umbrella, so they really have no control over it, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Their hands are tied. They don't really have much of a choice in it. But I mean, Endeavor has all kinds of companies under its umbrella, but I don't think there's any way that this doesn't affect the UFC. I mean, you and I can buy stock in Endeavor once this thing goes public.
Yeah, that's interesting. So I can say that I own part of the UFC.
Yeah, if you cough up the money. I mean, just like now, you could say you own part of the WWE because they're public too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then a lot of people had complaints about the WWE when that happened. But at the same time, after they went public is also when they came out with the WWE Network, which, I mean, I don't think there's a soul alive that has any complaints about that besides cable companies. But everybody, even people who don't like the WWE, love their network because they're like, why doesn't the UFC do that? And more companies and more promotions should do that. So it could maybe mean good things for the fans, but I don't see any way how this is good for the UFC. What about you, Rory?
Well, isn't Bellator publicly a public company because it's like owned by Viacom, right?
It is owned by Viacom, but I don't know if Viacom's public. I wouldn't be surprised because it's a
I
giant
think
corporation.
I think Viacom is public, so like I don't know. I just look at Bellator versus UFC. When I look at Bellator, I don't really think any deeper into it than just me as a fan watching fights or me as a writer writing. It's I don't think it's really going to change much. I just think it's funny that Dana White would be the head of a public company.
Well, he's notoriously said years ago that they were never going to go public, and he was like angry about it. He would say like, nobody helped us out at the beginning when the Fertitas were still in power. Like nobody helped us out, nobody believed in us. So why am I gonna give people the ability to purchase our company when they never helped us? But he doesn't have much of a say now, does he?
Nope. And that's what happens when, I don't know.
Maybe he, yeah, he was expecting this. I'm sure he knew about this. And yeah, he like signed an extended contract. Like, okay, I'm on board. Because he's probably going to get more money or something.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility, and this is something we're talking off the air as well. Of to segue into the next segment is his comments about the Conor Khabib thing seems really weird to me. I've never heard him say of any kind of trash talk that it's unacceptable, and he just pulled out the principal role and it's like we can't have this here, which is totally out of character for him. But to go into that, this Conor Khabib thing. I mean, it doesn't. I hate that we're bringing up Conor every week, but motherfucker doesn't keep himself out of the news, and it's not just to keep himself in the public eye. He's just bringing all kinds of negative press towards him. But I'm gonna just come out and say it. I didn't think his comment was that offensive. I think he said the truth as far as, well, it definitely looks like that woman has a towel on her head, and I think people misinterpret it as that he actually called Muslims or her a towelhead, which is a slur, which is a offensive thing. But I mean, when you're trying to hide someone's, it's not even the identity, man. It's just the face like that because of your religion. I think it's fair game. I don't think he said anything about her. It's not like he called her a bitch or that he called her ugly or that he said this and that. Then obviously Khabib went all out and called him a rapist. Although I don't think it was Khabib, I'm sure it was Ali Abdelaziz. I don't know. Rory, you're saying that you kind of kept your nose out of this, knowing what you do now. I mean, seems like some people just think it's way overboard, and some people just it almost seems like they want to police this. Well, what's your take on it?
Well, honestly, I haven't really seen any of it as I don't follow Connor on Twitter. I don't use Instagram. And so it's like, I don't know. Whatever he does, I'll be honest, I don't care what Conor McGregor does outside of the octagon. Like whatever he does outside the octagon is just like, I mean, it's usually not good news when you hear about Conor and he's not fighting. So like, I don't know. I never really cared for his persona. I never really cared for anything he does outside of the cage. I like to see him fight when he does. If I catch it, I do. Like he's not, and he's also not one of those guys where I like run to go watch Conor fight. Like I think he's one of those people that is just he's there so that people that aren't really watching every week would invest their time into watching. He gets the public eye excited to watch the fights, but as far as whatever he does outside, all the antics, I usually never even see it, and if I do, it's way later. Like this, I've only heard about a couple days ago, or maybe even a few hours ago. Like I still haven't seen the pictures. I still haven't seen the images. Like,
Well, they're deleted now, so you can't. Well, I
yeah.
mean, I guess you could see them on Instagram or something like the screenshot, but the actual tweet you can't see anymore.
And it's not even something like the type of person I am. It's not even something that I'm willing to like search for or like go look for. Like I'm not gonna go, oh look at that, Conor said something like that. Like it doesn't do nothing for me. Like he needs to fight, and if he's not fighting, then I'm not interested in him.
This is something that I was kind of telling Reen earlier is that I do find it funny that the people crying outrage over this, it seems like a lot of media members are crying foul, and I just don't get it. It's like they're always covering it, and I know it's their job, but up until this point, we all loved it. Well, seemingly, it seemed like everybody loved it, and now all of a sudden it's going too far. It's like, dude, he threw a dolly to a fucking bus. He injured people. He took that guy's cell phone, and then of course the rape allegation. Like, there's a lot of bad things going on with him, but all of a sudden he says that the dude's wife's a towel, which is basically a South Park joke that Towley used to tell, you're a towel, and all of a sudden it's fucking big news. And I mean, I'm not mad at Khabib for calling him a rapist either, because those are the allegations, but I don't understand why people think that they're crying foul and it's just so offensive when everyone's been covering it. What can you elaborate on that, Reen, on just some of the stuff we were talking about earlier?
Well, that's what bothers me. It's like now the media's coming out saying, yeah, this is a little bit too much, Connor. Well, what about the allegations? What about the rape allegations? That's not too much? That's not going overboard? I mean, some people don't even talk about it. Ariel's just completely scooting.
And then there was those people that seemed like, oh, it's okay that Connor called, and I don't care that he said that to Khabib about his wife. I don't care, but I also don't care that Khabib threw those, the rape allegations at him. But some people were like, well, it's okay that he said that about his wife, but the rape thing was way too far. Khabib shouldn't have gone there.
Yeah, it's just nuts. It's like he can do whatever he wants, and people will eat it up.
Want to know what the
everything between them? To me, it all ended after they fought.
Well, I wish that was the truth.
They keep going, but me, I don't. Like, I seen how it ends. So they can both keep taking jabs at each other and saying whatever they want, but unless there's some idea put in place where they're going to fight again, I don't care what they do. I'm not really interested in all this weird antics or allegations or any of that stuff. But that's just the kind of fan I am. Like, I know there's people that really soak that stuff in. They're super excited about whatever Connor says. They got to go retweet it, or whatever Khabib says, they got to go in Connor's Instagram and put comments under and say whatever about allegations that nobody even knows about, which, I mean, could be true, could not be true. But the thing is, at the end of the day, they're both mixed martial artists. And if they're not going to perform in mixed martial arts, then it's just two random people talking back and forth to each other. And I can find that on Twitter anywhere. So I don't care about that. unless they're going to fight again, then it's just two random people just talking.
I mean, I think people have taken it such offense because it's a personal thing. You know, I'm going after the wife, and then I don't get this aspect, but some people really do think it's taboo to talk about religion, and I want to say maybe Islam in general because I guess people have seen the history of that, of what happens when certain people say certain things about Islam. But to me, it's like it's all fair game. I mean, unless you're actually threatening wife and kids and things like that, like that's too much. But I really don't see the big story behind this. What I do find really funny is that dude Robbie Fox. He's the Barstool Sports guy. For anyone that doesn't know, he's the motherfucker that was standing outside of the courtroom when Connor threw the dolly with those signs of free Connor and Connor's innocent and Connor did nothing wrong. That motherfucker saying, "Yeah, this is going too far. Like I don't want anybody to die over this." When he was doing all these
Wow.
fucking stunts, yeah, protecting his boy.
Yeah. And then I forgot who said this. Was it Luke Thomas and his gang talking about it? But it's like almost like Tupac and Biggie. This is going too far.
Not even close to that.
Like, what?
Not even close to that. These are two fighters that are trying to promote a fight and they're going too far. And the sad thing is they might be trying to promote a fight that never happens. So to me,
Yeah.
it's just a waste of time.
I
And
would
I'm
like
not going
to
to get invested in the waste of time. I'm not.
I would like to believe that, but I actually do think that Khabib is gonna take all this shit to heart. I can believe that Connor might not, especially because he lost. But Khabib, especially, is like he won. It's like motherfucker, you're still talking shit, and you're making it twice as personal as before. Like I wouldn't put it past Khabib, especially that he's tied to some Chechen warlords that may or may not commit genocide on certain people.
My stance is this. If they're not going to fight again, this is all for nothing.
Yeah.
Simple as that. I'm not really interested in two grown men bickering back and forth over social media. When you take away who they are and you just look at what they're doing, it's silly. It's literally Twitter beef with two people. That's it.
Yeah,
Simple as that. If they're not going to fight again, I don't care about what they're saying or what they're doing. Fight again, lose to Khabib again, and then what do you have to say after that? That's my stance.
Yeah, Twitter beef is like seems like where it's all at of what sells. And that just I mean I get honestly I think it's noble that you take that route, Rory, but this is the reality of the situation for not just for MMA fans. There's a lot of people who kind of are in your camp, but this is the thing with the casuals, and those are the ones that bring in the money. Because if you guys don't know, the UFC does not. Anybody listening to this podcast, the UFC does not care about you because you just pay the bills. Where they actually make the money is the casuals, and the casuals are the ones that are eating all this shit up. So I definitely get your take, Rory, but unfortunately, that's just not the reality. Because for better or worse, this is what the people want. You know.
You're right about that.
Yeah. I just want him to fight too because, I mean, yeah, he's watching the fights. It's cool, I guess, that he's always commenting after all these big fights. But, like, can you get in there and actually fight too, please? Like, because he's off his suspension now, right?
Connor should be, yeah. If not, it'll be like within a week or two. I mean, they can definitely sign a fight already. It's not going to interfere.
Right, because,
Right,
I
is
mean,
Connor
April.
retired? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And who knows?
I
That's the
don't
thing.
believe
Like,
that.
no, and that's the thing is like just to go on with that. It's remember we all laughed when Nick Diaz said he retired after the GSP fight. We're like, okay, you lost, you always retired, but sure enough, he stayed. He stayed retired. I don't know how he has all the money for the booze he's fucking drinking, but he's retired. He stuck to his word. So, and then like I remember even like in boxing when De La Hoya lost to Pacquiao, he retired on the stool, and everyone's like, he'll be back, and he never came back. Sometimes these things stick. Yeah, I don't think so either with Connor, but you never know. Sometimes they do mean it, although I don't believe it with Connor.
So you don't think he'll come back?
I mean, I would say he's definitely interested because if not, why is he going at Khabib? Why are you making shit so personal with someone that you're not gonna fight? But I don't know. I mean, I don't know what his contract is. I don't know what. I think he sees that the UFC wants to put him against people who are not champions, and he's not with that. So I think he figures the more personal I get with somebody, they're gonna have to make the fight. I'm gonna get my title fight. I'm gonna get my money. And then who knows, win or lose, maybe he calls it a career, maybe he doesn't. Who knows?
Well, he signed like a 6-fight deal, I think.
Yeah, Anderson also signed like a 15 fight deal when he was like 40. So I don't know. I don't know what any of that means. I never take that too hard, But yeah, who knows? Who knows what's going on? But I guess to stick with Connor, we'll talk about his homie, the GOAT, Artem Lobov, fighting Paul Malignaggi. I'm sorry, he's not fighting Paul Malignaggi. He's fighting Hick Diaz. He's fighting Jason Knight this weekend in bare knuckle fighting. But there was an incident with Paulie slapping Artem that caused a big kerfuffle. What did you think of this, especially that we were talking about this? We did a bonus clip in one of the last podcasts about just how dumb Paulie was for going after Connor and this whole thing. Like, what did you think of him actually doing it and slapping his boy just like Khabib did?
He's such a bitch, man. God damn it. His little ass, man. He looks so funny and right next to Rumble.
He just looks like such a like sleazy accountant now.
Yeah.
He looks like he just launders money for like fucking mobsters and shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess he's doing a good job of trying to sell a fight, but it's such a I don't really care. It was entertaining for sure, but I'm so over it, man. I'm so over him, like so hard pressed to get at Connor because of what, the sparring videos.
Yeah.
He's still pissed about that. He's still mad about those videos because it didn't tell the truth.
And then Connor released all those photos too, and didn't make him look any better.
Is Artem the one that originally released the videos?
I think it was Connor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I thought that's why he was going after Artem, because he's the one that released them originally back in the day. Like, what, a year ago? Like,
yeah.
partially, not the entire video, but partially, like, released those videos, and he's going at Artem for it? Or he's just going after Artem because, Connor's his best friend.
Yeah, just because that's his boy. And if I recall correctly, if it wasn't Connor that released them, it may have been Dana. Because I remember everyone was telling Dana, and Dana was like, no. It's like Connor actually beat him. And I think he may have been the one that released one of them, too. So
yeah,
Artem had nothing to do with it. It is just a thing of going after his boy.
Artem is in the middle of everything, huh? Because he was like in the middle of the whole Khabib thing and the whole Dolly incident. So everybody wants a piece of Connor, but they're going through the GOAT.
Artem's like that 6 degrees of separation, and he may be the one that fucking brings down. Who knows what's gonna happen with Connor, with Khabib? He can fuck everything up, man. It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. With this fight, just what did you think? I mean, well, I guess we'll just go into it with him and Hick Diaz. I'm picking Hick Diaz in this one. I don't know what'll happen, but Artem seems to have a hard head, but I still can't get over his tiny little T-Rex arms.
Oh God, no! I know he looks so tiny next to Rumble too.
Oh man, he scared the shit out of everybody, and he didn't do anything. He just like, yeah, bro, come here. That was so funny. Did you catch any of this, Rory?
Yeah. For starters, I'll never call Artem GOAT. I won't. Next, after that, I enjoyed the slap a lot, a whole lot.
That's really so funny after what you said about, Connor and Khabib and that whole thing.
Well, I think Malignaggi and Artem are really gonna fight. I really do. And
you'd actually pay for that? You actually want to see that?
You just asked two completely separate questions. Yes, I will watch it for sure.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it's bare knuckle boxing, and it doesn't seem like people are too amped to pay for it by all means from what I've seen on the internet. But it definitely has fans.
I'm definitely going to watch it for sure. I'm definitely going to view it with my eyes. And I also think Paulie's going to win.
Yeah, I mean, It's boxing. I mean, I've seen a few bare knuckle boxing fights. It's interesting. You know, there's a few different like techniques, and they can grab on, and they can do dirty box, and you know, obviously being bare knuckle, it's probably best to go to the body as well. But Paulie's a solid boxer. I don't see any reason of why he wouldn't win. But also, who knows in what kind of shape he's in. Artem's not the hardest fucking puncher, but well, I guess it all is dependent on whether he beats. Well, I say that like it's actually merit based, but no, I mean he could definitely lose to Knight and still fight Paulie. So yeah, yeah, I'm with you. I'll watch, and then as far as the other aspect of that, who knows?
Yeah,
Yeah.
anything can happen in that world right now where there's like, I mean, you don't have the most eyes on the sport, so it's not like people are really tuning in to see like who is the best like bare knuckle boxer on the planet. I
I mean,
think
it just seems like a spectacle.
yeah, that's what I think that's the route they're taking too. And who knows? I think I think if you get the right names fighting against each other, depending on how they develop the business and strategize and who they decide to match up with each other, I could see it gaining traction. But as of now, we don't really have trained eyes on it for people to understand like what the skill set is, like what does it take to be good at fighting bare knuckle with rules, because it's different than a street fight. So it's like
Hmm.
it's just like you have these two unknown people and one wins, but you're like looking at him and you're like, okay, well now he's gonna fight another guy I don't know, and if he wins and keeps winning and beating guys I don't know, then maybe he's the guy.
It
But
it kind of seems like kickboxing in a way. Like I mean, I know Glory is very, you know, has titles and weight classes and it's legit and stuff, but that seems to be the complaint with kickboxing or Muay Thai is that you don't know enough of the characters, so you're just kind of seeing fights just to see them because there's no like linear, there's no storyline really, there's no like things to follow. It's just like, oh, just watching two people fight.
yeah, it's like I don't know. I guess it's like when you go out to a restaurant and you like order mad food and they're like, all right, well, we're going to bring out this salad. And you're like, I don't want this shit. But I mean, since it's here,
That's an interesting way.
since it's right here, I guess I'll just eat it. Why not? I did not ask for this though. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, I think there's just there's interest. I don't know if it's, peak interest. I think there's just like, oh, this is interesting. I'll see what it's about. But yeah, who knows how long it'll go. But there's a lot of decent fighters who sign on there. But especially with Paulie, I'm wondering if he's actually going to keep at it or he just wants to beat up Artem and then call it a career and then see if maybe Connor goes after him. It's gonna be interesting. But yeah, I'm with you. I'll see it. I think you too, Irene, right? You want to see Paulie and Artem if they go at it?
Hell yeah, I'll actually buy it.
You're different.
Yeah, I'll actually buy it. No, but that bare knuckle president, he was just like, what did he say? He's like,
Yeah.
he didn't want that scuffle to happen there.
He's like,
Right.
but fuck it.
But fuck it. Like, dude, come on. You just come on, you have to capitalize on this. You just
Now,
sold the next fight.
now that Dana's all being a little pussy about, oh, we don't want this to happen, I'm actually welcoming of this guy. You gotta usually say that this guy's probably fucking trash for saying that, but it's like, well, at least you're being honest, man. Props to you.
So if the Artem versus Malinaji card is $39.99, you're still gonna get it?
I don't think we're getting that crazy there.
Yeah,
Randy
that's
gets
a lot. Wait, hold up. I'm gonna have to rethink this. How much?
They've usually been.
What's the max you're willing to pay for it?
I think most of the cards have been like 20 or 30 bucks, like 20, 25 bucks. I would hope that they would keep it at the same price if they want to get any sales. But then again, they sold fucking Tito and Truck 3 for what, 50 bucks?
Oh my god, was it 50 the final price? Because
I
I
think it
thought,
was 40 to 50. It was quite a bit. Yep.
yeah, I allegedly streamed that too, but
So all right, I think we'll cut the MMA stuff there. So we got one last bit of news. Going to the news story for the week. So this was, I guess it's not MMA related, but it involves some violence. Headline is: Man chokes grocery store cashier for smashing his bag of chips. This actually happened in Rory's backyard, not in Philly, but in Pennsylvania. Basically, sounds like this dude was having a bad day, and he was telling him, "Don't fuck with my food. Don't crush my stuff. I got a lot of chips in there." And the cashier was being a little smart ass. He did ended up taking him and choking his ass out. This is not any kind of behavior I condone, but just as a normal human being, I'm like, you know what, man, I'm with you. You did nothing wrong.
What? I would choke somebody out too, though. Don't fuck with my salt and vinegar chips, man.
Salt and vinegar's your thing.
What kind of chips were they? That's what I need to know.
Right?
I need to know what kind of chips they were.
And yeah, I've looked and it doesn't seem to say. But it said he had a few of them, so who knows? Was it two? Was it three? Was it the big party bags? Was it just fucking little 99-cent chips? Who the hell knows?
Don't tell me he was complaining over the variety box.
The munchies bag?
He can't do that.
You
can't complain over the variety box.
There's a picture of him too. He looks like some like Duck Dynasty looking mofo too. I don't know. I'd guess he's eating either ranch or barbecue. If I had to guess, he was eating either ranch or barbecue chips.
Are you sure he's not like a sour cream kind of guy? Sour cream and onion kind of guy?
Possibly that too.
The Getty image that they put out shows Lay's classic light version.
Yeah.
It doesn't really strike me as the chip of his choice.
Oh my god.
Just by looking at his mugshot, I don't really think he's a light on the salt chip.
They put like the hipster choices of chips on the image. Yeah, you're right.
Just like bad Lay's.
Not even Pringles, not even Ruffles, just weird ass Lay varieties. But
I think what makes the funniest thing about the story is whoever wrote it. Who's that? Who's FNR Tig? Whoever that is.
No idea.
It says it just took a playful cashier and some crushed bags to pull the pin out of his internal grenade.
Yeah, as I said, the dude was like ready to snap. He was just having a bad day. The thing is, I wonder how bad of a day was it? Like, did his girl break up with him? Did he lose his job, or just get mad because like his dog took a shit in the living room or something?
Well, I will say this: if you're buying a bunch of chips and the guy that's bagging your chips starts throwing your stuff around, and you say, "Hey, man, please don't throw these groceries around. I don't want my chips to get smashed up," and then the cashier just keeps throwing it. At that point, is it still about chips, or is it like disrespect, like blatant disrespect?
Well, what I find funny too is this is one of the lines of the dude's last name is Brower. Brower began to attack the clerk, shoving the worker against the cash register before grabbing the victim's neck and repeatedly yelling "idiot." It almost seems like I didn't want to do this shit, man, but you gave me no choice.
Yeah, like maybe the cashier made him take it there, and then I guess like at the end of the day, like you still have to buy the chips. So now what do you do with like these little crumpled pieces of chip? I guess you pour it on your sandwich or whatever.
Yeah. I would be pissed.
Go ahead, Rin.
Yeah, I would be pissed too. Like, if you're fucking with me like that, and I asked you to not do that, can you put it in a separate bag, please, or something? Like, and you continue to be an asshole, then I don't think I'll choke somebody, though, but I'm not trying to go to jail for no fucking bag of chips. Just give me another bag, or, get your manager out or something. But, I mean, I've been known to go off on, like, people, but they deserved it. Like, store workers, at that point, you fucking deserved it.
Yeah.
I have my receipt. I bought this here. You don't fucking give me my refund, then yeah, I'm going to go off. Go get your fucking manager. Don't be an asshole. But
that's another thing about humans. Like, you never know what it's going to take that person to a level you're not willing to go to. So obviously this guy is not having it.
Yeah.
Definitely not the one where you can just disrespect him and life is okay. Like, he asked him pretty nicely. He was like, "Look, man, you're fucking up my chips, all right?"
Could you imagine if
I asked you not to mess up my chips? You're smashing my chips. My kids we're going to eat those later or something like that. And can you imagine telling somebody that and then they just look at you and they just still continue to crush your chips?
Could you imagine if this was like Jorge Masvidal? Like that? Yeah. There's just some people you don't fuck with, man. This guy wasn't having it. I thought that was real funny. I hope there's like a GoFundMe for him to like post bail, and I hope what if it goes to the jury or something. I hope they rule in his honor because we all make mistakes, man, and I definitely relate to this dude.
Right, or help.
Don't you think you should be the one that sets up the GoFundMe and you drop it after the episode?
I don't think
after the episode.
I don't think I'll go that far with it. I provide a link in the podcast description, and that's doing my due diligence.
This poor guy, he should get at least a year's supply of potato chips.
Lay should reach out. Well, that's the thing. We need to find out what chip it was.
Uncrushed shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pringles. They're in a can. They're safe.
Yeah.
He'll get you some.
The size of him, I have a feeling that Pringle cans would not be safe. I'm not like a small person, and I'd much rather have a bag of chips go over my head than getting pelted by a Pringle can, because he would probably use those things as drumsticks on that guy's face.
That's gonna do it for us tonight. So I want to thank you guys for listening. Obviously, I want to thank Rory for coming on. Is there anything you want to plug, Rory? How people can get at you, an article, anything you might have coming out?
You can follow me at Rory Rex. If you can't spell it, sorry. You can go to www.unknownmma.com and read all of my articles. Matter of fact, if you have like an hour, just read all of mine. You don't really have to read anyone else's. And also make sure you follow my boss, Amanda. She has a huge head. It's like really, really, really big. Like, do you remember those pants back in the day that had like Fat Albert on the back pocket, but like his head didn't cover the whole pocket?
Yeah.
Her head was like that. So you can go follow my pineapple head boss too.
That's Chica for you guys that don't know him. I think she's more known by Chica on Twitter and on the internet. But yeah, Chica's cool, man. so shout outs to her too. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at juice_MMA. Reen is at Fox with you, Twitter and Instagram. And you can follow the podcast at iFoxWithJuice. Like, share, subscribe. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, everywhere. Once again, thank you for listening, and we'll catch you guys next week. Later.
See ya.